Good morning. It is Sunday the 27th of August 2023 and you are very welcome to my channel SewMeSarah. I'm Sarah, I come from Northern Ireland and I come on here regularly to chat to you about my cross stitch, sometimes some other stitching related activities and just generally to share in this lovely community of cross stitchers across the world. It has been a really nice couple of weeks. It's busy now because we're just about to hit going back to school on Tuesday, yay! And it's been that flurry of gathering school uniforms and school supplies and all of that. So we're breaking the news gently to Charlotte. She will love to go back when the time comes, but she's resisting it at the moment. I think sometimes she resists because she doesn't fully understand or fully get the timeline, the time scale for things. So we are drip feeding the information to her that she will be returning to see all of her friends again at school on Tuesday. So I also had a week off. Yes, I had a week off. I was telling you about that last time. I had grand plans for that. They didn't materialize quite as I had imagined, but I still managed to have a really lovely time. It was just good to not have to juggle that extra plate for a week. So no work for a week. And I had a little bit of extra time to play. And I found myself having some crafty adventures. So I will share some of that with you a little bit later on in the video. So today I've got quite a bit to share with you, but I'll start just by touching on a couple of things from last time. First of all, I had Happy Mail last time. I shared with you this beautiful little sled and this gorgeous tag that were made for me by a viewer and sent as Happy Mail. And I shared them last time, but I wasn't able to share the name of the person who sent them to me because our emails just had crossed and by the time I recorded, I hadn't got permission, but I do have permission. So I just want to give credit to Robin for these beautiful little stitches and say thank you, Robin, for these very thoughtful little gifts that you sent my way. I will treasure them and I am looking forward to being able to put them out with my Christmas things this year. So, so thank you, Robin. They're so sweet and I love them. I've told you that anyway. I had another little package of Happy Mail, well, it's quite a big package of Happy Mail arrived from my friend Kathleen at Kathleen's Autumnal Trails. And Kathleen and I have, well, we have struck up a friendship as a result of meeting on Flosstube, and Kathleen sent me a lovely little box of goodies, just a little friendship box. And in there were some stitching related things. There were lots of different bits and pieces, but I'll show you a few of the little stitching things. So first of all, she stitched this for me, another Christmas treasure. She knows me well, my teacups and a snowman and a cardinal. She said this is a design from Twin Peak Primitives, so anyone who is interested and likes the design, you could go and look that up there. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure it wouldn't be so hard to find. So baked goodies, teacups, a snowman, a cardinal and a candy cane. What more could you ask for? And then she mounted it in this gorgeous little pottery pie dish. And she did a beautiful job and added some vintage bells, which do jingle, you can hear. And lovely rickrack and ribbon trims. So thank you so much, Kathleen. You know that I love it and I will treasure it. And again, it will be proudly on display along with Robin's sled and tag this year. So thank you, sweetheart. Kathleen also sent me some thread milk. I forget the name of these, but the little thread blings. So little thread milk caps, I think they're called actually. So these aren't something we can get hold of here, so it's really nice to have them, and she sent them to me. And she also sent me this beautiful little wooden dish. You see? It's absolutely gorgeous. And if I'm brave enough, I'll try and find a nice circular stitch to mount in this dish. I think that will be just perfect. So it's really lovely to have such thoughtful gifts sent my way, and I really appreciate them. So thank you, my friend Kathleen, thank you so much. Okay, last episode I was asking you how good you are at estimating the time it takes to stitch something. So the question really came from my inability to estimate a good time. So when I sit down at night and I think, yep, I can get this bit done tonight, and I don't get anywhere near that. So I was just wondering, you know, are any of you better at it than me? But it seems that we're not. As a general rule, with a few exceptions, we're not really that good at estimating the time that it takes us to stitch a project or a section or whatever way we divide things up, whatever way we think of it. So we sit down to stitch and we think that we will achieve this much, but we don't quite get there. There are a few folks who decided that it's not really worth the estimating process at all, and they just stitch for the love of stitching and don't worry about that at all. So you folks are free. You have no ties in your head to any kind of estimating at all, which is lovely for you. The rest of us, I think we're just eternal optimists, and that's the way I'm going to view it. So not that I'm terrible at estimating time, but just that I'm an eternal optimist and think that I can get more stitched than I actually can. So thank you for engaging with that little question. That was fun to read all of your answers. The other thing I asked about last time was, did any of you know of any tutorials for the jewellery boxes, for the, you know, the folks are making jewellery boxes into sewing cases, travel sewing cases. And of course you all came back and said, oh yes, watch Colorado Cross Stitch because Sherri had Tanya on her latest video. And I do watch Sherri regularly and faithfully, but I just hadn't got to that video yet, so I had no idea that that was coming up. So it was really great timing actually, that the video was there just exactly when I needed it. And I did find it really helpful. So if any of you are thinking of doing a little jewellery box conversion, I would heartily recommend that. But then you all know already. So for the few of you who didn't recommend the video tutorial to me, that's where you should go and have a look if you are looking to convert a jewellery box. And I did have a go, and I will show you mine a little bit later on in the video. So thank you all for responding. I knew that you guys would know the answer to that question. Okay, so before I share before I do anything else, I want to recommend a floss tuber. So there's a new floss tuber from the northeast of England, and she's called Just Sew Sherri. Excuse me for looking at my notes, but I have a lot of things I want to tell you today, and I don't want to forget, and I almost did this. So very sorry, but new floss tuber from the northeast of England called Just Sew Sherri. She is such a lovely lady. She is really chatty. I loved her projects. She made me laugh a lot. And if this isn't clickbait, she shows her knickers. So go and watch Sherri's first video and have a laugh and get to know her a little bit better and welcome her to the community and let her know that I sent you, just so that she knows that word is getting out about her little channel. So Sherri and her knickers, yeah. So before I show you my stitching today, I have a couple of little opportunities to share with you from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So if you'll bear with me, I will happily share these with you because they are very nice offers, and we'll catch up with my stitching in a few moments' time. So last time I was telling you that I have joined their latest SAL, which is the Christmas Wonderland SAL, and that is available for pre-order now. And there's a code that you can use if you're a viewer of my channel. And that code is, let me remember, it is Sarah 10 Xmas. Sarah 10 Xmas. Sorry, I'm having a few blank moments. So the code is Sarah 10 Xmas. I'll put it down below. And pre-orders are open. If you use that code, you will receive 10% off the full kit. So today I want to show you the kit. So this is how Caterpillar Cross Stitch send their kits in these lovely pink envelopes, which is their new packaging. And inside here is everything you need to stitch their mystery SAL. This SAL is starting on the 25th of September, so you've got plenty of time if you pre-order now. And it will be a 6-part mystery SAL, and it will be released from the 25th of September in approximately fortnightly releases. The kit comes with everything that you need, so I'm going to show you inside here, all beautifully flat packaged, is your kit. And to start with, you have a little instruction card with some hints and tips for stitching, particularly useful if you are new to stitching. Then you will receive your fabric. Now for this kit, there is a choice of fabrics. I chose the 32 count even weave, and all the fabrics are a grey colour. They're all quality Zweigart fabric. Mine is 32 count even weave, but there is also a choice of 14 count or 16 count Ada for this SAL. And then you also receive, I should say before I do this, there's a needle on the fabric as well. You get a needle with your kit, and then you receive all the threads for the kit, all pre-sorted, all beautifully done for you. So that is everything that you will need apart from the patterns, which when you sign up to the SAL will come to you as a PDF release on their release dates. So from the 25th of September, as I said. So that is the kit for the Christmas Wonderland SAL. As I said, use the code SARAH10XMAS to get 10% off this full kit if you pre-order now. The other thing that Caterpillar Cross Stitch do are the little needle minders that go along with to accessorize their SALs, and this one is fabulous. This one is just so beautiful. So this is the hot chocolate or mug of cocoa, however you like to say it, needle minder. Perfect for a winter wonderland scene, perfect for any Christmas stitching, and just beautiful to add to your needle minder collection. So I highly recommend, don't miss out on this one. I love it. So what a great little accessory. So that is the Christmas Wonderland SAL. And then Caterpillar Cross Stitch contacted me and asked if I would like a few other products to share with you. And then they have an offer that I can make to my viewers if any of these products interest you. So just the first thing to share with you is one of the other accessories that are available on the Caterpillar Cross Stitch website. These are the glitter bobbins, and they come with a ring, and they're, wow, they are glittery. They're catching the light of my ring light today, so they've got a lot of sparkle. There are 6 bobbins in this, and if you are a bobbinator like me, these are perfect for your Christmas threads. Let me see. I really need to get better at learning how to show you these things, so sorry. There we go. There are 6 bobbins. I think these would also be really great for Christmas trims and ribbons. So, you know, just add a little Christmas ribbon or a little rickrack or something that you use for your finishing items and add them onto the glitter bobbins. So these are available on the Caterpillar Cross Stitch website also. I will add a link below for you if you are interested in the glitter bobbins. Now, one of the other products that Caterpillar Cross Stitch offer to stitchers across the world, because they do ship internationally, are their bi-monthly subscription boxes. So this is one of their boxes. It's a nice little box. It's not too hefty. They have kept them really nice and compact, which is great for postage. And these boxes, as I said, they release bi-monthly, and they have two forms of subscription for these boxes. The first is an annual subscription, and you would sign up and pay in full at the time, and you will receive a box every other month then. So you'll receive 6 boxes across the year, and you have paid up front, and you're committed to the annual subscription. So you're committed, you will get all 6 of the boxes. Currently on the website, if you use the links that I have provided in the show notes below, and if you go to the annual subscription, you will see that for signing up and committing to the annual subscription, they already have a 10% discount on a subscription of that kind. The other type they have is a more flexible subscription, and they call that their bi-monthly subscription. And so you sign up to that and you pay on a bi-monthly basis. So you only pay every other month, and you get your first box. And then if you decide you want the second box, then you let your subscription run. And if you don't want that one, or you want to pause your subscription at any time during your subscription, you can pause and skip a box and then restart again, or just cancel altogether. But these are lovely little boxes of happiness that you will receive every other month. So the bi-monthly subscription is a very flexible way to try this out and see if you would like it. So to have a discounted trial of one of the boxes, Caterpillar Cross Stitch have provided a code, and that code is 15, so 15 box Sarah, and you will receive 15% discount off your first box. So if you sign up on the bi-monthly scheme, then you can get 15% off your very first box with that code. Now, the code is valid until the 14th of September. Okay, so the next subscription box that is available and for which this code is valid is box 15, and it is the festive box, and it has a design by Emma Congdon of Stitchrovia, and it's called Season's Greetings. I'll insert a picture here so that you can see that. You can also use the links again below and go and find out some more for yourself about the box and what it contains. So this one is by a guest designer. Sally from Caterpillar Cross Stitch designs a lot of the boxes herself, and they're very cute and beautiful, and they're on a themed basis. So each box that you get, as I said, comes like this and will have a theme. So Caterpillar Cross Stitch have kindly sent me 2 of their previous boxes to show you the kind of thing that is available through their subscription service. So inside you have a nice little welcome card, and then all with fun packaging, there's goodies hiding underneath here. So in this box we have got a hoop, and it's an Elbacy hoop. I don't know if I can show you there, the brand Elbacy hoop. Elbacy hoops happen to be my favorite embroidery hoops, wooden embroidery hoops. So these are nice quality hoops. So you've got a hoop for this one, and then we have a little washi tape. So Nutmeg and Arlo washi tape, and I'm going to show you here. It's a little ocean theme, which is a hint to what this box is about. And then we have a sweet treat, which is a chocolate lollipop with ocean sprinkles. Look, there are seahorses on there. I know my friend Charlie from Charlie Feathers will love it. She loves seahorses. So those are your 3 treats. You've got your lollipop, your hoop, and your... So those are your 3 treats: your hoop, your washi tape, and your lollipop. And I should really show you the washi tape better, shouldn't I? Muscles. It's adorable, look. And all of these things are to go with the theme of the box, which is Ocean Wonder, and that is the name of their kit. So inside the box, there's a full kit for the Ocean Wonder design. But sweet little treats to receive in the post. So I think this one is really pretty, and I absolutely love the themed gifts that go with it. And of course your finishing hoop as well. So that is one example of the Caterpillar cross stitch boxes. If you do particularly like this one, I think it's still available on their subscriptions page. They have a few left over, and they can make that available to you. The latest one, box 14. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of all the packaging. The latest release was a box called Playful Pets. So again, you've got your box, you've got your little welcome card. This one came with a set of 4 little floss rings, floss tags, in the shape of fish. A gorgeous bunny and carrot needle minder. And gorgeous cookie called You Are Possum cookie. That's your sweet treat. And then you have your Playful Pets kit, which I'll take out to show you. Here we go. So there is the Playful Pets design. Lots of cute little pets, some of them up to no good. So there you go. That is a sample of the kind of thing that you get in a Caterpillar cross stitch subscription box. So if you are interested, the next box, as I said, is going to be the Season's Greeting box, and you will be able to get 15% off that box as a trial if you pre-order before the 14th of September. Use the code 15boxsarah, and that offer is available to anyone internationally as well. Okay. Very generously, Caterpillar Cross Stitch have sent me an extra box of the Playful Pets box. You can see there you go. They gave it to me as a YouTube giveaway prize so that I can share it with one of you. So if you would like a chance to win this Playful Pets design, the kit, along with the needle minder and the little fishy floss tags and the cookie, then please enter the giveaway. And you do that by being over 18. It would be nice if you were a subscriber, but be over 18 so that I can ask for your mailing address. I'm happy to post internationally, so please enter no matter where you live if this interests you. And please don't use any of the words that will attract bots. So don't say giveaway, freebie, win, anything like that. Just please use one code word, and that code word is Caterpillar. 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 And I wish you luck. And I want to say a really big thank you to Caterpillar Cross Stitch for sharing all of these goodies with me and discount codes that I can show you what's available out there. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope that some of you will be interested. I know that many of you do like to join the SALs also. And when my box arrives for the box 15 for the subscription, which is the Season's Greeting box, I will of course share that with you and let you see that. But for now, the pre-orders for the box are open. Details are on the website, and you can use the code for 15% off right up until the 14th of September. So thank you, Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Okay, I think I'm going to have to tidy up all this pink sprinkles and then I'll come back and share my stitching with you. Okay, I'm back. We're slightly tidier than we were before. So it's time to share my stitching with you. I don't have any fully finished items this time, but I do have a couple of finishes, some whips and a new start. and then I'll share some plans before I go. So my first finish is Stitching Men's, and that is a pattern by Tiny Modernist. Here you go. And I have stitched this up in different colors. So it was easy to change the colors on this piece, which is what I think makes it a really nice piece. So you can see the difference. Here, instead of yellows and pinks, I use blues and pinks because I intend to make this into a stitching mat to take to retreat with me, I hope. Anyway, that is the plan. But this is a really easy pattern to substitute your own choice of colours for. So if the originals aren't for you, then just change them. And it doesn't matter if you have blue flowers or whatever. You know, get drunk with power, as Janine McGowan from the Blue Flower would say. Get drunk with power and change it how you want it to be. So the original is beautiful too. I just know that I wanted these colours for the purpose for which I stitched it. So that is Stitching Men's. I think it's a very sweet design. And of course we all love stitching related designs. So that's that one. And then another little tiny finish is Blessed. And this is by Priscilla Blaine from Stitching with the Housewives, and it is a freebie that's on her blog. So I will link the pattern below. I will link to the blog below so that you can see this. There isn't a picture that I can share with you, so this showing you the finish is the best, the best option. So this was a very sweet little stitch. And this was part of the autumn stitches that I shared with you a few weeks ago when we did a little dive into my stash of patterns. So the other one I shared with you then is Thankful, and I've made a small start on that, so I'll show that to you in a moment. So that is Blessed. It's a finish as well. I'll probably make that into a little pillow in time, a little cushion. Then I have my whips, and of course I'll start with my daily thread. So this is the project that I'll take one length of thread a day and stitch into it. I am stitching I Am No Bird by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I started this at the beginning of August, so this is daily progress. Most days I have stitched this this August, so if there's a day when I don't stitch, then I don't do the daily thread either necessarily. So it's just the first one that I'll pick up when I am going to stitch for the day. So you can see I got the border finished. Can't quite, there you go, there's the bottom border. It's just a double border of single stitches, and then I started this sort of inside border, and of course I dropped down to do a little bit of the words because that's the fun part, right? So it's making progress. I'm stitching on 25 count even weave ecru by DMC fabrics, and I'm stitching with Licorice Red from Classic Colorworks. So I think I keep calling this red licorice, so forgive me, but it's Licorice Red floss. And I'm just using one strand over one for that. So a little bit of progress. I think the words will go a lot quicker than the border. But the last one I did was Real Comfort, and it took 3 months to do. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if this one takes around about the same or a bit longer perhaps. My next whip is Glitter Village. This is a series of 9 little houses by Cottage Needleworks. This one is house number 6, and this is the most recent house that I finished. So it's a finish in a whip, if that makes sense. I finished house number 6, so that's this one over here, and but I haven't yet finished the whole piece because I'm stitching the 9 houses all together in a 3x3 formation. I'm stitching using the called for fabric, which is a 32 count linen Natural Sparkle Silver by Zweigart. If you remember way back when I started with the first house, sorry, this one's the first house, I did have trouble with this linen, but I'm over that now. And it just takes a little bit of patience and knowing how to use it better. So for those of you who like the idea of stitching on a sparkle linen but haven't tried it, it might present some issues with it at first, but there are ways around them. So one of the things that I found, as you can see with my ring light on, there's a lot of sparkle on here, and actually that can attract your eye to the wrong places. So when you're looking for a hole to stitch in, your eye's attracted to sparkle rather than hole. So I found that keeping light, direct light, to a minimum is actually really helpful, but good solid daylight is great. And there are ways, I mean, I do stitch this at night with my light on, but just there are ways to kind of direct the light where it's not giving off quite such a direct sparkle. I also stitch this one in a hoop because I find the hoop opens the holes a little bit better for me to see. And I stitch with a slightly shorter length of thread than I usually would, just because it's a little bit easier on this stitch. So there are ways you can adapt your stitching, and I wouldn't say that you should never try it. I certainly struggled through the first house, wasn't sure that after this project I would ever give this a go, ever consider it again, but I'm now at the stage where I'm like, yeah, I'll stitch on a sparkle fabric, that doesn't bother me. So I think these are so cute. I am loving the colours, the pink and the pale blue and the pale green colours, and the little touches of gold here and there. So it does take me a lot longer than I expected, but we all know about my estimation of time to stitch these. So I had hoped, I think at the beginning of the year, I'd hoped I would get them finished by Christmas, but I don't think that's realistic now. But that's okay. Progress is progress. I will have another house, maybe another house and a half stitched by Christmas, and then hopefully by Christmas 24 they'll be done. There's no rush, they're just for me, so I'm enjoying the stitch as they come. That Glitter Village. Next is my Get Your Kit On SAL. So this is a SAL that I am hosting to celebrate all things kit. So if you have a kit that you are stitching or would like to stitch, you can certainly join the SAL and share that with us and let us see what other kits are available. The kit that I chose to start with for the SAL is the turquoise themed teacups kit by Luca S. And well, you all know that I love a teacup and this is where I've got to. So last time I had started this cup here, but I had a big gap here. So I've managed to fill in the gap and do this little bit of sort of, I think it's meant to be like gold gilded bordering, you see. So they're sort of caramelly brown colours, but I think I have to add in some paler ones which will lift that a little bit. So we can see 3 definite teacups there, so I'm really happy with that progress. I'm just using everything that was provided in the kit, the Ada as well. There was a beautiful pale blue Ada in the kit. I think it's a 14 count. I'm not sure if it tells me on it. No, it's a 16 count Ada. Yeah, it's a 16 count pale blue Ada. And the flosses are anchor flosses and they're gorgeous. They work up really nicely. So that is my progress for the turquoise teacups for the last couple of weeks. And then part 3 of the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Positivity Lifts SAL. This mystery SAL was released last week, and the section that we were stitching this time was this bottom part here. Believe, the heart, peace, the basket, and these 2 clouds with the sun coming out of the clouds. So I love it. I love the colours. They're so bright, fresh and summery and uplifting, which is of course the intention by the designer Sally. So I love it. So you can really see the shape now of the balloon coming in. So I'm imagining we've got to fill in kind of around that much. There should be 2 words for part 4 and then 2 words for part 5, and that will be it done. There is a little overlap between this SAL and the Christmas Wonderland SAL, so I'm going to have to be on it in September when the releases come out. This one will come out a few days ahead of September 25th for Christmas Wonderland. So yeah, I'm going to be busy with my SALs, but they're a lot of fun and always nice quality from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. The last, oh no, I have one more whip here. I'm sorry I didn't get this one ironed, but this one is, it's called, here you can see down here, Zigwigwi Delight. And it's a funny little folded thing, folded ornament. So you stitch in a full square. The whole design is 1 square, and then you fold over so that the corners meet here at the back. I haven't explained that very well, but here's my progress. So this one will be the center, and then this corner will be folded over to form the back, if you like, of the ornament. So you'd have it all folding in. Anyway, it's very hard to see, but it folds over, and I thought that was just very interesting as a concept, and to see if I can do it. This is 25 count, stitching 1/1, beautiful pale colors of thread that were in the kit. This was a little kit that I ordered. So there are some beads in this too, so the beads and everything came in the kit also. So I don't pick this one up very often at all, and I don't know why, because when I do, I really enjoy stitching it. But it does take a lot of concentration on that 25 1/1 with the pale colours. So anyway, I did manage to pick it up and got a little bit of progress this time. And then the last piece of stitching that I have to share with you is a new start, and it is thankful. I referred to it when I showed you blessed. Priscilla also has a thankful stitch. I'm going to hold this back. Oh, there is a picture, sorry, there is a digital rendering, which of course doesn't do it justice at all, but this is available also for free on Priscilla's website, or her blog, so I will link that below for you. And I've just made a little bit of start with the script. So I started in the center, which is why the word isn't finished at the beginning. I've been working my way back to that. So it's a nice little stitch if you've only got a few minutes to spare. I'm stitching on a 32 count Murano, and it is 2/1. Sorry, 2/2. I'm stitching 2/2. Okay, that's all the stitching. But as you know, I jumped on the bandwagon for the jewellery box conversions. And what a lovely bandwagon it has been. So as I said, thank you for directing me to Sherri's video, to her floss tube of Colorado cross stitch, and to Tanya, who had been visiting with Sherri and showed on the video, she showed a tutorial, kind of a how-to to convert one of these jewellery boxes into a stitching travelling case. So I did. I played around, and whee, I'm so thrilled with it. Now, here I have the little dividers. These are the dividers that came, and they could just go across there. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep them or not, but I did fabric cover them just in case I decide to. I could always pop them into this elasticated pocket here if I'm not certain, but anyway, that's what those are. So I have a lovely fabric stash because I haven't quilted for a long time now, but I do have a lovely fabric stash because I've been a quilter. And I have some beautiful tilde remnants. So some of these are my very favorite pieces. This one, my very favorite piece of tilde ever so far. And I had a little scrap, just enough to cover this backing and the pocket down here underneath this lace. So, and the other bits are also tilde. This little flap lifts up. That is part of the original design. I just laid a piece of covered card on top of it, and there's another piece down there. So all of these are basically cardstock or card, a little bit of wadding and fabric folded over and glued. And the way that I did this, just as Tanya showed on the video, but it is also the way that I created the flat mounts for the La Finestra del Tempo SAL. So if any of you have done that, then you could do this. It's not any more difficult than doing this. You just need to get your template shape, and Tanya shows and explains how you do that. Again, I just pressed a little bit of paper down in here and then drew into the paper to get my template form. Exactly the way I did when I did the Easter egg mount. If you remember, I did a little happy Easter stitch from Caterpillar cross stitch, and I mounted it on an egg shape form, and that's how I got the template shape that I needed to cut out. So that's all you do. It's really nice and easy. It is not a difficult thing to do. You just have to have a little bit of patience, and then you have to have some fun pulling all the bits and pieces that you want to include. So as you can see down here, I have wonder clips. I use the wonder clips because I stitch in hand, and when I roll up the fabric I clip the ends just to keep it tidier. I've got my scissors, and I made a little teeny tiny strawberry. There you go, a little teeny tiny strawberry as a scissor fob. I have my favorite needle case, which my friend's husband wood turned for me. Let me just show you that. So it's just a little needle case. And I have a pair of tweezers for pulling threads. And up here on the back, when I was covering the cardboard for the back piece, and I added the wadding, I also added the magnet from the needle minder. So this is one of Caterpillar Cross Stitch's needle minders. You know how much I love those. So inside, there you go, under the fabric here is my magnet, is my magnet. I glued it onto the wadding, and then I just glued, I covered the fabric over the top of that. And then I can add the rest of the needle minder on the top. And it's so pretty. Over here I just added one of the little bulb pins and a little charm with my initial on it. I did cover the pocket, which was a tricky, but basically it's just glued on and there's a fold over at the top. I don't know if I can show you this. I did fold it over. Okay, let me explain, because this isn't something that Tanya does, so let me explain this better. I took a piece of the fabric that I wanted to cover the pocket with, and I made it longer, about 2 inches longer than it needed to be, 2.5 inches. I then did I turned over a little hem and did a row of running stitches so that I could pull it and gather it to make it closer to the size, but it also has the gathers that you would have on the original pocket, if that makes sense. And then I turned the edges under and glued them to the top of the original pocket. And then I folded the hem, the gathered hem over the top of the pocket. So that's the best explanation I can do. I'm sorry, I know it's not great, but you're creating a gathered piece of fabric and then folding the edges in so that you can glue them down, and it just covers that little pocket and it gives you a little bit of room. Just there's not a lot of give in the elastic of the V pockets anyway, but you don't want to have no give when if you put a piece of fabric over the top and there's no give in that, then your elastic would break it. I then added the this sort of chunkier crochet lace just for contrast. I am struggling with my words this morning, sorry. So just for contrast, I added this at the top of the pocket. Again, I just glued it down with some tacky glue. And then I had this was another bandwagon I tried, this teeny tiny little embroidery hoop, and I had already stitched this, and it was sitting in the cupboard waiting for inspiration with what to do with it. And then I thought, oh, that's a really good colour for my box. So I just glued it onto the outside of the pocket. Now in the pocket I have got, it's actually a quilting ruler. It's a little 2.5 inch by 5 inch, by 5 inch quilting ruler. This is what I use as a corner gauge because I don't have like a real corner gauge, but this does a really nice job. So that's what I use to start my pieces, and it slips in there really nicely. And that, so far, is my sewing case. I'm so delighted with this. I can't tell you how happy I am with it. It took a little bit of time. It was very easy to just pull out the other, to pull out the pieces of foam and the other bits that were in the case already. And then I just, was able to cover these just exactly how Tanya showed, and I will use those. I'm not sure I am going to use them, but if I want to, they're there for me to use. But as you can see, I like having the length. I don't really need the dividers, I don't think. So that's my plan at the minute. So this is not fully finished, although I think the inside is finished. I don't have any plans to do anything else with the inside of my case. This case is a little bit smaller than the one, or it's quite a bit smaller than the one that Tanya shows when she is explaining on Sherri's video. But this is just a little travel-sized case, and I just got it from Amazon. You can see the brand there is called Landici. So I am going to stitch something to cover the top, or at least partially cover the top, but I haven't quite decided of what yet. I do know the design I want to stitch. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to stitch some wording beside it or not. So I'm just being indecisive. If you would like to try this and you want to stitch something for the top, I did see a really lovely little stitch specifically designed for the top of these cases by Mrs. Flossie. So it's on her Etsy shop, and I will link that below if you are interested. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll pop a picture in for you. Just obviously check the size of your case and make sure that you stitch it on a fabric that would fit, because I think it might have been designed for a slightly bigger case, but it's a really, really pretty design. So yeah, that's all I have to do is to actually do my stitch for the top, and yeah, I love it. It was so much fun doing this, so much fun playing with fabrics and making decisions, and yeah, just having fun really, and being creative of a type, and also joining in with everyone else and playing along with the most recent bandwagon that we have here. So that's it. That's everything I have been up to. You can see that I didn't touch my full coverage piece as intended. I was thinking that I would have lots of lovely afternoon stitching time and be able to devote some of it to that woman in a field of flowers, but I didn't get there. But that's okay. I've got 20 years to stitch that one. It's gonna be fine. Okay, for September, my plans will be, I'm going to make Rejoice Evermore my focus whip again. I'm going to spend 5 days at the beginning of the month stitching on that. That's probably as much of a contribution to Sampler September as I'm going to make this year, simply because I've got lots of other things I want to progress and I don't really want to get diverted by a new sampler at this stage. So I will stitch Rejoice Evermore as part of that Sampler September. I also need to make a decision, more indecision, but make a decision about my stitch for the Smalls Exchange at Stitch in London in October. I have a couple of ideas, some of them suggested by you guys. So I have all of that in my head and I just need to plump for something and go for it. I think, to be honest with you, I'm overthinking it, but that's me. And yeah, that's probably about it. I just want to keep going with the things that I have going. I'm making progress and it might seem slow, and you have probably seen the same project over and over and over again this year, but hopefully it's not been too boring. So one of the things that's not boring is that, of course, this weekend is, or has been, Needlework Marketplace, which is the new kind of expo, the online market releases, and they're all coming out this weekend. They're all being purchased for us by our LNSs and ONSs as we speak, as I speak. And I just wondered, what did you see in the new release schedule for Needlework Market that really tickled your fancy? What really spoke to you? What designs did you really think were spot on this time, or just meant something to you, something that you really liked? So let me know, just share down below. These are my favorites. There were lots of lovely ones, but having come off the back of a couple of videos ago doing the autumn stash spotlight, autumn pattern spotlight from my stash, I spotted these in the new releases and thought they were absolutely gorgeous. So the first is Autumn Bee by the Blue Flower. So there's just everything about that I love. Autumn, the bee, the fact that it's the blue flower, it's all wonderful. And then more autumnal patterns that I thought were adorable are from Yas at Yasmin's Made with Love. So Yas is releasing 3 patterns. I think they're coming together as a set. I'm going to be checking them out myself. And they are this little mouse, the little fox, and the little squirrel. And I think they're beautiful. The colours are fabulous. So Yas, you did a great job on that release and on all of your others as well. So many good releases for this new Needlework Expo. So please let me know which ones you loved and which ones you hope to add to your stash too. All right, I think you've heard enough from me today. So I'm going to go and hopefully get this video edited and uploaded. That doesn't take all day, but usually it does. And get it edited and uploaded, and then we are going to celebrate Granny's birthday this afternoon. So we're looking forward to that. And I hope to do a bit of stitching this evening. So those are all of my plans, folks. Please remember that if you're interested in the giveaway, the word is caterpillar, and I'll see you all next time. So until then, stay well and stitch happy. Bye.